A very warm welcome. I'm Akanksha Swarup. Now, Kyiv is hoping for a game changer for its war with Russia, and that could very well be Germany's Leopard 2 tanks. The big development is that German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has finally decided to deliver the battle tanks. This, according to a report in German news outlet Der Spiegel. Now remember, Germany's decision arrives soon after the Biden administration in US decided to send US-made M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine. The news was significant, especially for Germany. The country had indicated earlier that it would only send Leopard tanks if the United States also agreed to send its own tanks. Needless to say, the move will equip Kyiv with a modern and powerful military vehicle. But it arrives after much resistance by Germany, despite growing Western pressure to provide the tanks owned by them. The German Chancellor has been wary of moves that could spur Russia to escalate the war. Scholz views the action as a risk of the NATO alliance being drawn into this conflict. And in an effort led by Poland, stakes were raised as Warsaw announced its decision to send the Leopard 2 tanks. Now, you'd want to ask, why was Germany's decision so crucial for other Western nations regarding the Leopard tanks? That's because Germany is heavily in control of its export and re-export of these tanks. Now, Germany is finally caving into Western pressure, especially exercised by NATO. This, as NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg urged allies on Tuesday to speed up deliveries of heavy and more advanced weapons to repel Russian forces in Ukraine. Stoltenberg spoke in Berlin alongside Germany's new defense minister. Interestingly, the defense minister of Germany said that his government would act quickly on the tanks if a consensus was found. Let's also listen in to what they had to say.
Eine Bemerkung, weil die Fragen kommen ja sowieso.
Allow me one remark, because the question will come up anyway, the question on Leopard tanks. There is not yet a new position. I have always said that I'm counting on a decision being made soon, and that remains my view.
We discussed the issue of battle tanks. Consultations among allies will continue, and I'm confident that we will have a solution soon. Battle tanks are, of course, important, both to be able to repel Russian new offensives, but also for Ukraine to be able to retake territory, to win and to prevail as a sovereign, independent nation in Europe.
Interestingly, Poland has continued pushing for countries who have German-made Leopards to send them to Ukraine. This even if Germany does not want to join them. Here's what the Polish Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Lithuania had to say.
We will apply for such consent from Germany, but this is a secondary topic. Even if we do not get this consent in the end, as part of a small coalition, even if the Germans would not be in this coalition, we will still hand over our tanks together with others to Ukraine. The condition for us at the moment is to build at least such a small coalition of states, and on this issue, together with President Duda and the Deputy Prime Minister, we are contacting our partners in Western Europe. We are constantly pressing the government in Berlin to make them share their Leopards. They have over 350 active Leopards and about 200 in storage. Therefore, Germany can really help Ukraine, which is struggling today, because this fight means a fight for security and peace in Europe.
It's imperative to send all the weaponry that Ukraine needs in order to push the front forward, to reclaim the territories back. Russia has to understand, and the sooner the better, that this war will end badly to Russia. There's no way out of it. There's no negotiating your way out of it. There's no tearing Europe apart. There's only losing. That what they start is a losing war, and they will lose.
And on Tuesday, Poland's Prime Minister said it had submitted a formal request asking Germany to allow the re-export of its Leopard battle tanks to Ukraine. Poland also expected the European Union to foot the bill for these tanks. The Polish Prime Minister says it would be a test of goodwill from Brussels.
The coalition of states that want to help Ukraine repel the barbaric aggression, Russian aggression, must expand. Germany is the largest country and should make a huge contribution to this joint coalition of countries that help Ukraine. We have submitted this request and we await a prompt reply. Of course, we are already training Ukrainian soldiers in Poland. Other countries are doing it too, and we will continue to do so. I hope that this response from the Germans will come quickly this time, because the Germans are delaying, dodging, acting in a way that is difficult to understand. We can see very clearly that they do not want to help Ukraine defend itself in a wider way. Of course, we will apply for reimbursement to the European Union. It will be another test of goodwill of the European Union. The European Union should compensate us for these costs. I hope it will.
But what's so special about this tank that was produced in the late 70s? And yes, I'm talking about the Leopard 2 German-made tanks. Here it is. Well, these are the tanks that we are talking about. Why are they so special and coveted by Ukraine at the moment? First of all, these tanks were produced in the late 1970s and successfully managed to replace the American-made M48 Patton tanks. Having said that, they're known for their firepower, the mobility, and also the sturdy armor. And why are they beneficial for troops? Well, because they protect the troops from threats such as mine, IED, and various other threats like anti-tank fire. Let's also take you through the armament. Well, Rheinmetall is the manufacturer of the German-made Leopard 2 tanks. It has a 120 mm smoothbore gun, a coaxial of 7.62 mm machine gun, a 7.62 mm anti-aircraft machine gun. Let's also give you a sense of what the other features are like. It boasts of a max speed of 72 kilometers per hour with a maximum range of 500 kilometers. It weighs 62 tons and can carry a crew up to 2 members. And that is why it is coveted, and that is also one reason why most of Europe nations, especially not just Germany, but even Poland, boast of the Leopard 2 tanks. Having said that, there are over 3,500 tanks so far, and the late editions that are currently in use are of the Leopard 2A4, the Leopard 2A5, A6 and A7, which are currently in use. It's surely expected to sort of further aid Ukraine's military with more power, as now Germany is giving this green signal to other European nations to re-export the Leopard tanks to Ukraine for this war. And that brings me to the end of this news presentation. Thank you so much for watching News 18.